Come. Where did everybody go? What's up, y'all? Adam Hoots here, the lean builder, Hoots on the ground. And today I got a gang of friends with me. We got LCI all over the place. Mr. Matt Bleakley, Mr. Co-Chair of LCI Congress this year. What's up, man? Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the country. Welcome. Say what's up to the Lean Builder Nation, Matt.
What's going on, everybody? Good to be here with you, Mr. Hoots. It's been a while since we've caught up, so good to be on the show. Good to be here with you.
Absolutely, Matt. And we are here today. We're going to talk a little bit about Gemba Day. And I am super excited to learn more about this awesome event. And I think it speaks exactly to what our show and everything we stand for is. But before we do that, I want to introduce LCI, Miss Joan Picarillo and Miss Eileen. Welcome to the show, y'all. We're excited to have you here and learn a little bit with y'all. Miss Joan, say hi. Say what's up to the people out there.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Yep, I'm Joan Picarello. I am the program manager for the LCI Congress. We're very excited about coming to Atlanta, and I'm here in Arlington, Virginia.
Yes, and Miss Eileen, wrap us up. Yeah, maybe you can kind of introduce a little bit of the logistics as well as we get going here.
I'm Eileen Goldberg. I am the manager of sponsor and exhibitor relations with LCI, but I am support to Joan and Matt. And as far as logistics, Adam, you're going to have to explain to me logistics of the live stream, logistics of the Gemba.
I'm looking for logistics of the Gemba, Miss Eileen, because I want to know more about today here. Yeah, that's what I'm after.
Well, as being support to Joan, I'm actually going to let her answer that question, and I am going to be here as support.
I love it. All right, Miss Joan, take it away.
Yes. So we are here to invite you all to submit if you would like to host a Gemba tour. The tours will occur Friday of Congress week. So basically the plan for the day on Friday, October 16th is folks come to breakfast, and then we load buses about 8 a.m. from the Signia. So we ask that anybody who hosts the tour be within a 45-minute driving range, and we can take up to 50 folks per tour. So basically that's what the buses will hold. So folks will gather, have breakfast, board the buses, get to their site about 9 a.m. The tours typically last about an hour, and then we will have everyone back to the Signia by 11 a.m. so they can, conclude their Congress week or catch a flight.
Yeah, so many of you don't know, this is our effort at getting in front of you, giving you the opportunity to step up and host a Gemba Day, right? So if you're in the Atlanta region and you get excited about people coming to your job and continuously improving and getting some ideas on how to make your job better, this is your opportunity to partner with LCI and get in and bring some folks to your project and doing what we call a Gemba Day. And so I love that, Miss Joan. Thank you for kicking us off there. I want to get it back to you, Matt. I'm curious, being a builder, being in operations, what the heck does Gemba mean?
Well, it's kind of like your Hoots on the ground, right? It's where the rubber meets the road, and actually going out to the field, to where the work happens, and looking at what's going on, right? And you talk about folks that are out there trying to continuously improve our industry and raise the bar and lift things up. This is what we want to. We're spending a week at Congress talking about all these different ways that folks are contributing to that and helping to affect that on their projects. And this is a chance to get some people out there and really show them what's happening in the field, how you're implementing that, how you're changing things, how you're improving things, what you're doing, what those processes look like. There's a lot of folks that are interested in this, this lean thing. They may not understand, the whole, what's going on, but the fact that we can take them out there and show them really helps it connect with people and really makes a difference in moving the needle.
Yeah, I love it. And that's how we get better in construction, right? It's not by pushing more paper. It's by going out into the field and making a difference where value is created. And that
That's right.
Gemba word, again, like, let's not let it scare anybody. We're just going to the site, right? We're going to the site. We're looking at how folks are building with a lean mindset and what that looks like to other organizations. And so I'm a huge fan of interorganizational learning. Miss Eileen, like, what does a Gemba day actually feel like compared to like sitting in a session or something like that?
What I love about the Gemba Day is it's an opportunity for attendees to take what they've learned at the conference and see it on a real job site. So it's the host's opportunity to expand that learning and to teach and more of what it is that they've learned at Congress. So it's not just sitting up there and hearing a presentation and all of that. It's actually being able to take what you've learned and see how it works on a job site. So the Gemba host has an opportunity to extend that learning into the real world example. So I think that's one of the main differences. Congress is all about learning and networking in different ways, but to actually take that learning and put it into a real world experience, I think is one of the main differences. So my Gemba Day is so important.
Yeah, I love that. We're going from theory to practice, right?
Mhm.
And Miss Joan, what do you think makes what makes a good Gemba site? Like, what makes a good Gemba tour? What are you looking for?
Oh gosh, I mean, anything from, we've had folks at like a prefab shop, so versus, and a project. So it really, whatever, any type of, as long as any type of lean process or practice is highlighted, it can be really any phase of a project.
Yeah, so it doesn't even have to be a job site, right? You're saying, hey, folks can come visit a manufacturing plant, a prefab spot, or if you want them to, come look at your pre-construction, right? Look at your trailers, or like, it's where value is being created. So whatever that looks like for your team, and I think that's an important thing that you just brought up there, Ms. Jones. So compared to previous years, like, if someone's listening and thinking, our site might be a good fit, but I'm really not sure, who's the right person for them to reach out to and find out?
Oh, they can reach out to me, Adam. That would be awesome.
Heck yeah, I love it.
If I can add something really quickly, if you have that thought in your head, I don't think there's a reason why you shouldn't submit a form, because you never know. You might not think it's the best fit, or you're not quite sure which part of your site might be the best fit, but it very well could be the best thing in the world, and we won't know until we see the form.
Yes, I love that. And the deadline's this week, right? It's April 17th, I think. I heard that right.
17th. It's coming up.
Yeah, so
The last responsible moment is upon us.
Yeah, you just in time, folks. Better get your junk together and get a submission submitted, right? Like, get a application submitted. And what does that process look like? Where do they go? And how do we make that happen?
Yeah, so Adam, I think you just dropped the link to the form in the chat, so folks can just go right there, and it's a pretty straightforward form. So we asked who the host is and what kind of lean processes are you going to highlight. We asked for a short description, and then of course the address of your site.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it before. It needs to be within 45 minutes of the hotel that we're having the conference at, the Signia Hotel. And you said there's going to be about a group of 50 or so folks that will plan to show up.
Yes. And if folks, it's really up to 50 because some of our hosts have preferred a smaller group, but we can accommodate up to 50 on each tour. And sometimes folks get to the site and then they split into, two groups of 25 or what have you and start at different areas.
Gotcha. And this isn't like we're reaching out to folks right now to actually host, to bring folks to your job site. But there's also like, what if somebody's listening and says, "Hey, I want to go to one of those job sites." Like, what should they expect from that experience?
Oh, I'll let Matt answer that because I think, Matt, you've gone on a
Sure.
Gemba and hosted.
Yeah, I think folks should expect to be able to come out to an active work site, and it could be a project site. Like we said, could be a fab shop, but be able to actually see some lean processes in practice, right? Actually working, and a lot of times project sites will do a little, they'll share a little history, a little bit about the project, what it is, give you a little context kind of for where they're at and what's going on, maybe some challenges that they've worked through. And then usually we'll work through their processes, go for a tour actually out on the job site. So actually see where these things are being implemented. But folks should be able to, should expect to be able to show up and hear about maybe some of the thought that went into implementing the processes, the why behind it. Was it driven by, the client? Was it driven by, a GC or trade partner? Is there some other bigger effort within their organization? And this is just a piece of it that they can show, but folks should be able to, should expect to come and see some real tangible examples that they can take away, bring back to their teams or their projects or their organizations and start to implement on their own. That's the whole idea. It's sharing.
What an amazing opportunity, right? Like we have the chance to get into some of the world's best builders operations and really understand like how are they applying this lean construction thing, because I know, at least from my experience, like really getting into lean and driving it forward and being successful in the field, like we didn't even realize that we were doing lean before we were actually doing lean construction. And so I think that's so important for so many people out there that, like, hey, this is your chance to show off your job or for you to go and learn from somebody else's experience. And when we start learning cross companies, cross country, like, and bringing those things back to our pockets, we create larger pockets of excellence in construction, and we need it so bad right now, because those people in the field, like, those are the ones that we're going to see. Those are the ones that are actually creating value, and those are the folks that suffer the most outside of their control. And so I love what LCI is doing here. Like, to me, there is no more important event than really getting folks out to the field to see boots on the ground, to see how things are truly being built from a lean mindset, from a lean construction. Like, come witness the last planner system in action, right? Like, come and see folks' PPC score, come and see a true respect for people. Like, those are the things that, in my opinion, we're looking for. Like, if you have a job site with a daily huddle every morning at 7 a.m. and you've got some stickies on the board and you've got some scoreboards up around the facility, or you've got a target value delivery or a big room, or like, these are the things that are getting me excited right now, and we want to come and see those specifically. And so I guess, Miss Joan, like, what else do you have out there? Like, how can we entice folks just a little bit more to kind of jump off that cliff and be a little uncomfortable by inviting folks to their job site? What else you got for us?
Oh, sure. Well, we do. I mean, literally at the breakfast, we hand out a little kind of a cheat sheet on an overview of what the Gemba is all about. And we ask folks, going to the tour to write their own notes. So I think it's a great learning experience for our attendees. And then last year, if our host wanted it, some declined, we actually sent our video team out. So then you as a host would get a little bit of video that you can use on your social media or on your website of your site and of the team coming to the Gemba. So that may be an enticement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That's like one of those hype videos, right? Like folks getting
Yeah.
The sizzle reel.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Matt, I guess being the co-chair, like I know you got a lot of things happening. You're kind of lifting a lot of strings right now. Like what's going on? Why should folks sign up for this? Like take me down the why should folks invest?
I think it's kind of like you said, it's a great opportunity to share throughout the industry what your teams are doing and how they're contributing. And some folks are able to submit abstracts and are fortunate enough to get picked to present or maybe do a live lab, to show some of those things. But if you've got something going on, even if it might seem, like you're saying, might seem to you like it's small or insignificant. There's some people out there who are struggling to start. There's some people who are struggling to keep going on things. And there's a thousand different ways to slice, these processes and tools that we implement. And people are always looking for other examples, and there are folks who've been doing it a long time. There's always something to learn. There's always a few nuggets you take away. Somebody's doing something just a little different. And you're like, I might want to try that. That might stick better with one of my teams. Big projects, small projects. It doesn't matter. It takes all sizes. And I think that's where, the biggest benefit comes from sharing is just seeing the other ways that people are doing things and how they've been successful and sharing the story, maybe what you did that didn't work, and how you fixed it. And that's, we get that from the presentations, right? But man, when you're out there in the field, that's when you can really see how it's implemented, how it works,
Absolutely. Let's be honest. There's always, one old dog out there that you just can't bring to the LCI ballroom. Let's just put it that way.
That's right.
Maybe it's easier and there are just concepts and things being done on the job site that you just can't put into a slide deck. And I think that's an important recognition that, and LCI does this every single year. And it's such a huge piece that I think is very, very important, as I mentioned before. So I'm fired up for it. Again, one of my favorite pieces of Congress every year. And we have moved Congress up a couple weeks earlier this year. I know the last few years it's been in later October. This year it's in mid-October, October 12 to 16. You can see there just above my head. And I'm super excited. It's coming to the East Coast, right? Coming to Atlanta. We're going to have a good time. So Miss Eileen, from looking from like a zooming out from Gemba Day, and I know we're here to encourage folks to sign up for Gemba Day because you only have a few more days to sign up before we pull the plug on that, and we have the walks we have. So get your sign ups in now. But what about the rest of Congress, Miss Eileen? Can we touch on that just for a little bit here?
Sure, I think that would be a great idea. If you're talking about Congress, and Matt, I might be taking some of your thunder, but a lot of what I personally love about Congress is, yes, peer-to-peer learning and hearing all the stories from everybody and successes and lessons learned, but it's the networking and the learning that you don't necessarily get in the session, but that you get from organic conversation. And seeing people that maybe you haven't seen in a year, meeting people you've never met before, but that are in the same industry and going through the same things, being introduced to people from a colleague. I think a lot of that is really, really almost what a lot of Congress is about, or the opportunities to do that. We try to foster a lot of. So the sessions are amazing and they're so valuable and you learn so much. But a lot of the learning comes from that peer-to-peer interaction. And we make opportunities for that to happen throughout the event and even to discuss what you learned in a session. I think that's really valuable.
I think this, Congress, if you haven't been, or even if you have, it's one of those events that's a little different in that folks are they're not just there on stage to show off what they've done. Like you go to a lot of these other conferences, people are there to talk about it. We say it warts and all, right? Share the challenges, share the problems, share what you overcame. Maybe you haven't totally figured it out yet. I mean, none of us really have, right? But at least share, that information. And the folks who are there generally very passionate about what they're doing, how they're changing things, how they're trying to make things better for the people, in their worlds, on their job sites, their companies. But sharing that with the greater community and building that sense of community through this event is really what it's all about. And those folks are very open, very accessible. Hang out after the presentations are done, get to know them, exchange information. There's people I still keep in touch with that I met 10 years ago at Congress, and, still have that long distance relationship, but we're there to help each other. Got an issue, pick up the phone and call. And that's kind of what it's all about, connecting.
Matt, you just said something that really rang so true in my head. Like, none of us really know the right answer, right? Like, we're all experimenting, and sometimes we're learning faster than we are in others, and sometimes we're failing more than we are in other areas. And so, like, to me, that's such an important piece of this. I had another question here. Like, is it Genba with an N or Gemba with an M, right? Like, I've heard it said both ways. I think in Japan it might be with an N, but I really like that. Like, to me, it's who cares, right? Go to the field and stand there and watch work get put in place, and really, really care for the workers so much that you understand their process and what is actually harming them or stealing life from them. And let's make that better, because we only have so much of that resource to give forward, right? Like, these people are literally giving their bodies to install a project for you. And when you make a mistake in a production planning and you have to rip work out to put work in just to put work back, that hurts people, right? Like, that hurts people's morale. That hurts people maybe physically if they're reaching up too much. Like, you are hurting people and you don't even realize it. And so this is such a wonderful opportunity. I'm grateful that you open this up to folks and allow folks to actually host one of these days, because that we need more of this, of people going in the field, watching how work is being installed, and then building relationships with folks such that you might be able to make recommendations for improvement. And that, to me, is what it's really, really about. Like, that to me is where we start driving continuous improvement, self-organizations within our construction systems. So, Miss Eileen, what's on your mind?
Oh, we don't have time. But what's on my mind now is about the A&E community as well.
Ooh, yeah.
So Gemba Day is not necessarily just for the field and construction, but we also invite the design community to host as well, because that's very important to Congress as a whole, for people to be able to say, oh, well, this is what happened in this particular company, in their community. As a designer, we want to know, that kind of thing. So I think that more companies in the design community need to submit for Gemba as well. I think that's very important to round out the Gemba Day.
Yeah, what a beautiful reminder. You coming in from left field, reminding these two construction heads up here that, hey, there is the whole lean and design concept as well. That's beautiful. And Miss Joan, like, what does a good Gemba tour from a lean and design perspective look like?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Well, we do have the design forum coming up in a couple weeks, so that you can ask a bunch of folks there in Chicago.
I think there's a lot of designers that are practicing, lean processes within their own organizations. If it's last planner in design, which looks a little different, right, than in construction, but there's obviously a lot of similarities too. But if that's happening, in your firm, and you've got some good visual management processes, some things set up in your office here locally in Atlanta, that would be fantastic to come out and see. Just because it's not a job site or not a manufacturing site, that's Eileen, that's an awesome point to bring up. I would love to see that. I would love to go and see that in action.
Yeah, thank you for grounding us back to what true lean principle, right? It optimize the whole, right? And we can't have lean construction without lean in design,
That's
not
right.
fully anyway. So thank you so much, Eileen, for bringing us back, grounding us there. Um, so I want to kind of kick this thing around one last time here. Maybe Joan, we kind of hit this a little bit earlier, but if somebody's still on the fence, like we still haven't convinced them yet, what would you tell them right now?
Oh, I tell them if they're interested and they're not totally sure, just to go ahead and submit the form, and then we'll be in touch. It's an easy lift. And I think, as you all have alluded to, when you host, you get some great questions, and it may, help you from that end, as far as you will be helping the community by sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like it's not just a one-way gift, right? You're also going to be getting questions, clarification, and in those questions comes ultra clarity in your own processes. So they say actually when you're able to teach somebody else your processes, the amount of retention that you keep in your learning is up to 90%. So I would highly suggest folks do that. That's the learning retention pyramid based on science right there as well. And how about you, Miss Eileen? If somebody's still on the fence, like how are we pushing them off that fence and getting some action? Like how are we starting this fire?
I think part of the lean community and the methodology is, respect for people and optimizing the whole and peer-to-peer connection and networking and learning. And I think being transparency and opening your site and opening your work and opening your company to share and teach and learn, as everyone is saying, from each other, I think would be just a fantastic thing to do. Um, it's that two-way learning pathway.
Mhm.
So again, open yourself up, be part, as part of the Link community, share your knowledge, share your successes, share your lessons learned, but be part of that two-way learning pathway. And I think that's a success for everyone. And it shows you out there as well as a leader in the industry.
Yeah, we are constantly teaching and learning at the same exact time, right? Like, and we're using those emotional cues, those behavioral cues to understand, like, should I be teaching or should I be learning? Should I be teaching? And it's like a constant switching of the hat until like we're at the same page as where somebody is. And beautifully said, Miss Eileen. Thanks for bringing those lean principles into yeah, wonderfully said. And Matt, I want to kick it to you before I kind of wrap up what I've heard. But like, what's one thing folks are listening to this conversation, and what's one thing you want people to walk away from and actually do after they've heard our conversation today?
I think if you've got any inkling that you might have something valuable, worthwhile to share with the community, to like Joan and Eileen have said, just get it submitted. Right, the idea doesn't have to be fully baked. It doesn't have to be fully formed. But if you've got something in there that says, I think folks coming here to see what we're doing might be helpful, then do it. Pull the trigger and do it, and we'll help you. If we need to help, finalize that, fully form that idea, and figure out, what that really looks like. We're happy to help, and want to make sure we're sharing all those good examples. So don't be afraid to step on the chalk, get in the game.
All right, folks. So you've heard it here today, live in action, right? You got submissions are due April 17th. So you've got 4 days, 3 days really. We want you to host a Gemba Day. We want to bring roughly 50 or so folks to your job site, to your office, to the place where you are creating value for your project sites. It needs to be within 45 minutes of 45-minute drive of the Signia Hotel. The date of the Gemba Walk is Friday, October 16th. is the last day of LCI Congress, where we're coming together. We'll be talking. We'll still be buzzing from all of the learnings that went on from that week, and man, it's just such a wonderful opportunity to like you said. I love how you said, like, show off how you are looking in the lean construction world, right? Like, show off your skills, show off your people, show off that you actually care about the workers on your job site. And I'm excited again, Joan, Eileen, thank you so much for making this a point every single year. It's such a valuable piece of Congress. I know I get a lot out of it. I am super, super grateful that LCI makes this important every single year. Also, thanks for hopping on this live stream. Like, I know it's maybe started off a little weird there, but we're going to make this happen. We're continuously improving. We are all about getting better. We're all about supporting LCI and making this the biggest Congress ever. Right, Matt?
That's right. Giddy up.
They say, hey, things are bigger in Texas, but they've never been to the ATL before. And so
There we go.
Have a blast come October. Hopefully this one went over well and we get to do a few more of these, maybe get Miss Elizabeth in here too. We're looking for you, Miss Taylor. So anything else we want to wrap it up, Matt? You take the final word, lead us on the way out of here.
Hey, we're very excited about Congress this year. We've got a lot of great content that's going to be there. Want everyone to be included in the event, and this is just another way to contribute and invest in your construction community. And we want to see you there. So we're excited. Bring all ideas, throw them our way, and we're really looking forward to seeing everyone out here in Atlanta.
Man, I wish I had some ludicrous to finish